Love it. All right. Mara Borella taking on Miranda Maverick. Very, very interesting fight here to me. I absolutely love the women's division. Something that you'll find out with me is, honestly, I feel like I'm almost sharper with the women than I am with the men. It's kind of like women's NBA. Every once in a while, you'll get those handicappers out there that just crush women's basketball, but they can't hit shit in NBA betting. That's kind of me with, well, that's not me. I do pretty well in men's mixed martial arts, but I feel like I'm especially sharp in women's MMA. Anyway, enough of that. Moving on. Borella, this is her third quarantine fight. So the reason I brought up that point last time was this will be the third time that she has fought under these circumstances. Let me get her page up here just a second. I try to do this stuff on the fly, and it's a little bit difficult while talking and interacting with the chat sometimes, so I apologize. Give me just 2 seconds here. So she has faced, in her last 5 fights, she's 1-4. So she's on the chopping block. She's about to get let go from the UFC. She comes in, loses to Caitlin Chikagian. Not a bad deal. She beats Talita Santos, albeit via split decision. So, okay, but she's shown some promise. She's got some decent striking. Then she faces Lauren Murphy. We know Lauren Murphy's turned into a bit of a monster, but she gassed out hard in round 3 and got completely flatlined by Lauren Murphy. Then she loses to Montana De La Rosa, which not a ton of shame there. I actually like Montana De La Rosa. And then she gets subbed out by Courtney Casey in the first round. Those last 3 fights were August 2019, and then February 15th, May 16th of 2020. So she's already fought in February, in May, and now she'll be fighting again in June. Very quick turnarounds, same thing, limited resources, unable to peak, just cutting weight, not able to improve or change who you are. The Mara Borella that we've seen in the last couple of fights, that's exactly who we're going to see this weekend. And she's taking on Miranda freaking Maverick. Miranda Maverick is making her UFC debut. She's another fighter that comes to us from Invicta FC, 7-2, 22 years old, hot young prospect. Another one who competed on the Phoenix series, solid grappling. However, she sometimes loses position and scrambles. She has exceptional offensive submission attacks, and she's willing to accept the bottom to attack, which is not something I usually say in nice tones. I don't like it when you accept bottom position because in MMA eyes, generally you're losing the fight to whoever's on top unless you can get that sub and finish, which there's a question of whether or not she can here in this spot. She does have good side-to-side movement on the feet. She's got a decent jab, and she works the leg kicks. Always love to see that. Strong takedown defense. So generally, if it gets to the fight, she's the one determining when and where it goes. And she's got a great gas tank. The big thing here is that she's extremely dangerous late. So that's kind of how I see this fight playing out. I think that Miranda is going to be able to avoid or handle whatever Mara brings to the table for the first round or two. We're going to get into the second round. We're going to get into the third round. And Borella's going to gas out like she always does. She always gasses out every time. And right now, we have Maverick as a -300 favorite, a whopping -300. I was hoping to make a case for Mara in this situation. I can't. Absolutely can't. However, I also don't want to lay -300 on this girl that's 22 years old making her UFC debut. One of the things we talked about is I like to fade people because they're stepping up in competition. This is a step up. Even though I'm not sold on Mara, even though Mara has been struggling lately, this is a step up in competition. So I don't want to bet this girl at -300. What I do want to do is look for the props when they come out and maybe take her by submission. I also might look at the round props because women's MMA is notorious for going to the judges' scorecards. So when you've got a woman who's a finisher, who's somebody we expect to get the job done before the judges' scorecards, that is never priced right by the bookies. So I might want to look at maybe Maverick in round 2, Maverick in round 3, maybe an under, because there's always the chance that she gets caught on the feet by someone with the experience level of Mara. I don't know. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the week. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and say Miranda Maverick wins. I do think she gets the submission late as Mara fades, as she gasses. But at this point in time, I'm not making a move. Good question. And no, I'm sorry. Clicked the wrong one there. My bad. Brian, parlay. No, my friend. Maybe. No is a little strong. If you really wanted to, I guess you could. But at -300, I don't know that I like it. I gave a whole lot of points as to why I think that Mara is not going to win this fight. But the fact of the matter is she does have good striking. So she stands an opportunity of rocking this chick early and hurting her. It is a step up in competition. I would say possibly yes, just be careful. I wouldn't lay the house on a parlay with Miranda Maverick involved. And by the way, can we just say her fight name is awful? Miranda Fear the Maverick. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but you got to have a better name than Maverick for your last name. Fear the Maverick. I mean, you've got to, I don't know. If you want to pull that off, you've got to have a little bit more badass of a last name than Maverick for me. I'm sorry. Yeah, we've got some agreement there. Yep, don't like the minus 300. Just a little too much. I think she wins, but just a little too much. What's up, TKO or Tap Tap? Welcome into the show, my friend. I appreciate you joining here.